from West Virginia's capital city with news from across the state. This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law, with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barron and Metro News' Dave Allen.
2 o'clock hour, final hour, Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. Open line West Virginia coming up at the bottom of the hour. What's on your mind? 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. It's time for some sports. It's Metro News Midday.
Metro News Midday is presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com. Join in by calling 800-765-8255 or text 304-TALK 304. Let's go live to downtown Charleston. Here's Dave Allen.
It is a sunny day here in the capital city of Charleston, West Virginia. That giant thing that you see in the sky that may be confusing people as you're heading home from work or picking up the kids at school or whatever, that's called the sun. And it's been away for, a long time. But it's back, at least it is here in the capital city. And they say meaning weather folks, that like Brian Hughes, that tomorrow is going to be a picture-perfect day for this time of year. But then it's all going to come crashing down Sunday night into Monday morning. So, enjoy it while you can. Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. Open line West Virginia, bottom of the hour. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. As we do every Friday at this time, let's talk a little sports. Daniel Woods from the Metro News and Sports team is with us. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I got to ask you a quick question. I'm fine. All right. So last hour, I had Brad Howe on.
Sure thing.
We were talking about this big event that they're doing in Morgantown tonight. I will give them another plug. No, I won't, because I can't. I deleted it off my phone. No, there it is. 3 guys before the game. They're doing this big event at Buffalo Wild Wings Suncrest tonight, 6 to 7:30, raising money for the United Way of Preston and Mon counties. And Hoppy and Mr. Caridi and Mr. Howe and crew will be there. Clear Mountain Bank, Vision Homes, all making it possible. Buffalo Wild Wings starts at 6 o'clock tonight. I asked Mr. Howe, who would win a wing-eating contest between himself and Hoppy and Tony Caridi. We've already pulled Hoppy out of the equation. That's not going to happen. So between Hoppy and between Brad, who would win the wing?
Wait, so are we eliminating Hoppy or are we leaving him in the conversation?
Oh, no, he's out.
He's out.
Yeah,
so
it's already been decided.
Between Tony and Brad?
Yeah.
Tony's a food guy.
He's a foodie.
We gotta establish that. Brad is a former college athlete.
Yeah.
So I'd imagine there's a time in his life where he could really put the calories away out of necessity, probably. But I gotta lean towards Tony. I think.
Okay.
Food guy. Tony,
Brad's a food guy too.
That's true. They are both food guys. They have well documented their food escapades on these Big 12 road trips. But as someone who interned on Sportsline when I was just a wee little 18-year-old know-nothing college student, I was around those guys on a daily basis. I've watched Tony. Tony's a guy, he's not going to just sit down and eat a bunch of food every day. He's going to be well-conditioned for something like this, I think you would say. I would watch Tony eat a lot of salads. I will say this, during my time working on Sportsline, I think he would be up for something like this and would be conditioned for it, is what I think I would say.
He would be training.
I think so. I think he would be prepared. Brad would be prepared.
Okay.
But I think your situation with that is I go back and forth. But I think Tony's the guy. Tony's too competitive also, I think. To allow himself to lose. Not that Brad isn't either.
So he just if he sees he's losing, he just turn over a table. Is that what you're saying?
Those are your words and not mine. Those are your words and not mine.
You just tap Brad Howe on the shoulder and go, look, and say, what you turn his head or something like that. All right, so go-to wing, because I've asked everybody from Mark Curtis on down. I've got off on this wing. It all started last hour with the fish fry, because that's the thing we're doing on the lunch spot every Friday, is we're featuring the different fish fries. We were up in Martinsburg talking to a gentleman who's from Massachusetts via Florida and now in Martinsburg, and his fish fry has clam chowder, he said. So that's what got me started on this food thing. So, Buffalo Wild Wings, where they're going to be tonight, asking for the different type wings. Yours would be your go-to.
I am usually, at the very least, some kind of Buffalo adjacent. If we're just sitting around, I'll go for a medium or a hot. If there's a buffalo garlic, a buffalo ranch, I may spin off into one of those directions. But I'm pretty traditional.
All right. I think sometimes we forget there's something to be said for the naked wing.
There is.
I'm going to give a little plug. Geno's. Geno's has got some of the best no-sauce wings that you'll ever eat. Just the naked wings. You can get a little sauce and dip in them. But anyway, welcome to Food Time with Daniel and the folks.
I will sit here we got 49 minutes left in this show. If you want to talk food, we'll talk food.
Now, we need to talk a little sports. Busy weekend for high school and college, specifically college basketball. So let's start there.
That's right. WVU and Marshall, both teams playing. Marshall has a doubleheader tonight that I'm actually going to be there for both teams, men's and women's. Last game of the regular season in the Sun Belt. Marshall women play at 6 against Georgia Southern. They are still playing for seeding in the conference tournament. They can't win the regular season. But last I looked, they were a game and a half out of first place going into this last game, and things are still pretty tight. So any win is going to help you in the conference tournament. Marshall men are tied for first place. There are 4 teams tied for first in the Sun Belt. There are 3 teams tied for second that are a game back. So not that I'm rooting against Marshall, but the chaos lover in my heart is hoping the top 4 all lose and then the next 3 all win, and then there's a 7-way tie for first place in the Sun Belt, and they've got to split it 7 ways. But that's not likely to happen. Marshall plays Georgia Southern. They will be favored tonight. And if they win, they will guarantee themselves at least a share of the conference championship in the Sun Belt. The only teams in that situation that would be able to split it with them are South Alabama, Troy, and Appalachian State. And it's going to come down to the results for those 4, more likely than not, as to who wins the regular season.
I'll tell you, when they announced that Corny Jackson was coming back to coach the Thundering Herd, coming after the D'Antoni era, and Corny Jackson was coming in, I applauded the move. Because I thought, and they had some rough spots along the way, and they've had some rough spots this season.
Sure.
But I thought this is the right move for Marshall to get Corny Jackson back on the bench. I mean, well, he was there before, but I mean, in the head coaching role.
And we talk about it in football with Marshall a lot because of the history before moving up to 1A or what is now FBS and the 75. There's a lot of history with Marshall football that we talk about, but there is a very passionate history of Marshall basketball that makes it a unique place. And you kind of need somebody that can come in and understand that it doesn't have to be a Marshall guy, but you need somebody that understands the culture of what Marshall athletics is. And Dan D'Antoni, obviously, was someone that understood that. And
Bobby Pruitt, too.
Bob Pruitt on the football side, exactly. So you needed somebody, like I said, not necessarily that was a Marshall alum that played there that's from West Virginia, but you needed someone that understood Marshall athletics, and you just so happened to have a guy in-house that is a Marshall alum, played at Marshall, and is from West Virginia, and inherently understands what Marshall athletics is all about. And I was going back to his post-game interview from their win against Old Dominion on Tuesday, and somebody asked him, this is a big opportunity. This game's on national television.
Yeah, it's ESPN2, right?
ESPN2, 9 o'clock tip-off. And somebody asked him, this is a big opportunity for you guys. National television, you win, you get a piece of the conference championship. What are you feeling about this game? And he said, this is a big opportunity for us, but this is a big opportunity for us because it's the next game. That's what we need to be focused on. But then he went on and said, with this being nationally televised, with it being a big game, this is an opportunity to show off the program, to show off the university, to show off the fans, to show off the community. And I think that's something that Marshall fans really appreciate, is somebody that understands that you want to win games and you want to be successful, and you're not going to have that job if you're not successful. They're going to run you out of town. But at the same time, Marshall fans want somebody in there that is going to give it back to the community as much as the community gives it to the program.
Right. Let's go to WVU.
So the Mountaineer men play on Saturday against number 9 BYU. If you don't follow college basketball in a broad sense or don't follow the NBA draft at all, AJ DeBonsa is going to go in the top 3 of the NBA draft. He's just freakish. I mean, he's 6'8", super athlete, can do it all. And this is a BYU team that is having to put more on his shoulders as a freshman. Their best returning player, Richie Saunders, tore his ACL about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and is done for the year. So they are having to adjust on the fly. Their head coach is Kevin Young, who's a former NBA assistant. They do some really cool stuff, but Richie Saunders was kind of the straw that stirs the drink in a lot of ways. A.J. DeBonce is having to do more. Rob Wright, who transferred there from Baylor, is a really good point guard that is having to do more down the stretch, and they're having to find those leaders at this point with Richie Saunders out. WVU's coming off of 3 straight losses against Utah, TCU, and Oklahoma State. All games that you could have won, all games that if you wanted to make the NCAA tournament, you probably should have won. And you're going to be looking back at those and kicking yourself, but you've got opportunities here to still get some big wins. You're on the wrong side of the bubble. You might be off the bubble at this point after 3 straight losses, to be completely honest, if you're West Virginia. But you're not quite playing for pride, because there are still opportunities to get some big wins and maybe get yourself back into that conversation.
All right. What about the WVU women?
That is a big one coming up on Sunday. Not necessarily the game itself for WVU, but you need a result from that game, because the West Virginia women are still in the mix to share the Big 12 Conference Championship. They are tied for second with Baylor right now. TCU is in first, 1 game above both WVU and Baylor. Mountaineers play Cincinnati on Sunday. TCU and Baylor play each other. So the way that the results break down is if WVU wins against Cincinnati, Baylor wins against TCU, they will split the conference championship between the 3 of them. If WVU loses, they're out of it. If TCU wins, WVU's out of it. But there is a path to where WVU can be part of a 3-way tie for the conference championship. They beat Cincinnati at Cincinnati earlier this year. And if you go into Sunday not controlling your own destiny for the conference title, but you put yourself in a position to get a piece of it if you win, and then Baylor goes on to beat TCU.
You got all that?
I don't know if I got all that.
Can you repeat it?
Yes, I can.
I know you can.
Okay, boil it down to this. If WVU beats Cincinnati and Baylor beats TCU, the Mountaineer women will share the conference title. If WVU loses or TCU wins, they will finish second.
All right, what other big games are you taking a look at in the world of college basketball? And then we'll get to the MEC after that.
Sure thing. We got nearly a top 10 matchup that gets the day started on Saturday, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. Noon tip-off, number 1 Duke against number 11 Virginia. Duke has been a different beast since that loss to North Carolina, and has now gotten up to the number 1 spot as a result of beating Michigan in Washington, D.C. That was a really impressive win for Duke on a neutral site against a Michigan team that I still think is one of the favorites for the national championship. Big 12, a couple of big games. Number 2 Arizona, number 14 Kansas. Kansas bounced back really well. They had risen as high as number 9 and then lost in kind of a rough fashion, turned right around and won on their home floor against Houston. So if they can keep building momentum, that's another great team in the Big 12. Talked about the NBA draft before. Darren Peterson, I think, is probably the favorite to go number 1 overall for Kansas, even though he's been in and out with injuries. And then number 4 Iowa State, number 16 Texas Tech, another big game in the Big 12. Those are both 4 o'clock tip-offs. There's not a whole lot decided in the Big 12 right now, and there are a lot of teams that are trying to build those NCAA tournament resumes at this point. You know, if Kansas goes on the road and beats Arizona, that's enough to take you from a 4 or a 5 seed to a 3 seed. If Texas Tech goes on the road and beats Iowa State, that's enough to take you from a 4 seed to maybe a 3 seed pushing towards a 2 seed. That's the kind of conversations we're having with those teams right now. But those are the 3 games that really stand out to me as it stands going into this weekend, at least for Saturday. You tend to get some Big Ten action on Sunday. There's not a whole lot to speak of as far as ranked-on-ranked games with that. You get former WVU head coach Darren DeVries in the midst of a little bit of a skid here for Indiana, taking on number 13 Michigan State. They've lost 3 in a row, Indiana, that is. But Saturday is going to be the big day. 2 games in the Big 12, 1 in the ACC that really jump off the page.
All right. Mr. MEC, what do you got?
Final day of the regular season is tomorrow. I'm finally going to be able to breathe for a couple days, because then I have to go to Wheeling for the conference tournament. And I say have to, like I'm going to not enjoy it. It's going to be maybe the 5 best days of my year. But Mountain East regular season finishes tomorrow. Men's regular season title wrapped up. West Liberty clinched it on Wednesday. They're 2 games up on Fairmont State with 1 game left. They are, depending on who you ask, right around top 10 team in the country. Fairmont State's right around top 15 to top 20 team in the country. Those 2 are near NCAA tournament locks. The question is, are you going to get a third team from the MEC? Things have been kind of a muddle through the middle the last few weeks. It's going to be hard for a third team to get in without winning the conference tournament, but the way things go in Wheeling, who's to say? Women's standings, no pun intended, are just absolute jump ball right now because you've got one game left. Glenville State is one game up on West Virginia Wesleyan. Wesleyan plays Davis and Elkins, who's 0-19 in the conference this year, and Glenville, trying to guarantee itself sole possession of that championship, plays Concord, who's currently third in the league. You look at this right now, going into the final regular season game of the season, and you've got 4 teams in the MEC women's standings that are within 2 games of first place. Glenville State is 15-4, Wesleyan's 14-5, Concord and Charleston are both 13-6. Concord and Charleston have been eliminated from the conference title race, but those 4 plus Fairmont State at 12-7 are all teams that have been at various times in the mix for spots in the NCAA tournament. Those are all teams that could make a run in Wheeling. Plus, you've got Wheeling with a winning record in the league, Frostburg State, West Virginia State, West Liberty, and Point Park all going up there that have legitimate wins in conference play this year. The women's basketball tournament for the MEC is going to be a ton of fun. The men's tournament is too, but the women's standings have been so competitive this year that I think no matter what happens tomorrow, that conference tournament is going to be some of the most fun basketball we see at any level in West Virginia all year.
You know, something that you and I will switch ways as we close out the segment. We only got about a minute or so left, but we haven't really had a chance to talk about baseball a lot.
I was going to say, in the 2 weeks that I have not been here on Fridays, it's baseball season.
Yeah, exactly. And so Marshall struggled. I know that with the baseball season. What about WVU?
WVU is 6-1. They play this afternoon at Kennesaw State to start a 3-game series. Steve Sabins is mixing his pitching rotation up a little bit for the Mountaineers. It's been the same 3 guys, just in different orders for the most part. They got a bunch of transfers in. They got a handful of guys back from last year, and they scored 19 runs on Wednesday against Ohio, and won 19-6. So when they're hitting the ball, they're as good as anybody in the country.
And spring training baseball, stop me if you've heard this before, the Dodgers are undefeated. Or at least they were as of last night.
I was going to say, I saw something this morning. They're like plus 32 in run differential in like 4 spring training games.
Can't necessarily read a whole lot in spring training, but go ahead and give it to the Dodgers now.
I'm planning the World Series parade in Pittsburgh is what I'm doing right now.
Well, if it's not there, it'll be in Cincinnati, so we'll see how that works out.
We'll see how it goes.
Daniel Woods, Metro News Sports. Appreciate you being here, my friend.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. It is 2:24. Open line West Virginia coming up at the bottom of the hour. 1-800-765-TALK. It's a phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. We're back after this.
Starting March 10th, Metro News brings you the 2026 West Virginia SSAC High School Basketball Championships presented by Chick-fil-A.
First title for Spring Mills and boys basketball.
The best teams in the state will once again meet at the Charleston Coliseum and Convention Center to compete for the title in their respective classes. The girls' tournament runs March 10th through 14th. The boys play March 17th through the 21st. Catch all the games on the Metro News Radio Network and at WVMetronews.com, where you'll also find up-to-the-minute scoring, stats, and brackets, the latest tournament news, and game recaps. Also, you can watch the live HD video streams of the class championships both Saturdays on Metro News Television.
The luck and skill of the Irish, they win the AA championship.
The 2026 West Virginia SSAC State High School Basketball Championships beginning March 10th, presented by Chick-fil-A, exclusively on Metro News, the voice of high school basketball in West Virginia. We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
I have had a complicated relationship with food. My job was to talk to heart failure patients about diet and exercise. I felt like, why would you listen to me? Because I was not following a diet that was healthy for me. I needed help. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 175 pounds. I feel like I'm free. They hold the skill, they hold the tools, and they're waiting for you to come say that you need the help.
The conversation starts long before the game.
He doesn't do this to other guests, but every time I'm on here, he creates distractions.
Disrespectful.
With his phone. I mean,
I have to have the phone on in case Pete Thamel breaks another story.
Join Tony Carini, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for Three Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television, available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronews.com.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Stike Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement, and we craft detailed financial plans for people like you because you're building your retirement your way. You deserve advice that's built to handle what your life brings. To meet with your Stike team advisor, call us at 304-443-4240 or email stike-info@wealthenhancement.com.
Hi, I'm Chris Lawrence. Make plans to join me at the Mountain States premier fishing, hunting, and outdoor sports show presented by Can-Am, Saturday and Sunday, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. Over 200 vendor booths and 100,000 square feet of everything outdoors, all under one roof. Great prizes, seminars, and kids fish for free in the Academy Sports Trout Pond. It's the 24th annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. Doors open both days at 9 a.m.
The state's premier outdoor sports show is back and bigger than ever. 24th annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show presented by Can-Am returns to Milan Park in Morgantown Saturday and Sunday, the 7th and 8th of March. That's next weekend. Over 100,000 square feet of everything outdoors, over 200 vendors, all in one spot. Complete details, WVOutdoorsportsShow.com, WVOutdoorsportsShow.com. A WVRC media event programming note next week. We call them the Fun Girls. Kelly and Rochelle are going to join us on the show a couple of times next week. One of those live from the show next week. They're getting ready for the show, I should say. They'll be on site there at Milan Park in Morgantown. Again, visit WVOutdoorsportsShow.com to check it out. It's a WVRC media event. We're back after this with Open Line West Virginia. And now we'll go to the Metro News Anchor Desk for a check of local news. You're listening to Midday on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Jeff Jenkins. Longer floor sessions today in the House of Delegates and State Senate with just 15 days to go. In the 60-day legislative session, the Senate passed an energy grid bill today that supports coal. Montague County Senator Chris Rose says the bill is aimed at other states that criticize coal but then use it when needed.
We have megawatts. We'll decide how we generate in a free market. If you want megawatts, we'll sell you megawatts. We're tired of woke, liberal, northeastern states telling us we can't burn our coal plants.
You can read more on that bill at WVMetroNews.com. The House of Delegates approving a bill today regulating where vape shops can be located and how they can be advertise their products. Fayette County Delegate Elliott Pritt is a school teacher in Fayette County. He says vaping is addictive and a problem. He sees it every day.
I do bathroom duty in our school, and I'm going to tell you what, walking into the bathroom between every class change, it's like strawberry fields and blueberry haze every single day.
Delegates overwhelmingly approved the bill and sent it to the state Senate. A former popular swimming coach at the Parkersburg YMCA sentenced to prison time today in connection with a sexual abuse case that's been investigated for the past couple of years. David Andrew Adams sentenced today to 5 to 25 years in prison, followed by 50 years of supervised release. Those charges involved young children. You're listening to Metro News. For 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
When I started school sports, I didn't know who I wanted to be. I just wanted to play.
But looking back, I developed character, resilience, and integrity. And now I'm settled in a career. I'm a leader to my own kids and my community. I know who I am and where I belong, and it started with school sports. I found my place. Find yours.
This message presented by the WVSSAC and the West Virginia Athletic Directors Association.
Hi, I'm Nathan Adkins with CEC. Why did I choose CEC? It's simple. As a Huntington native and a Marshall grad, I'm thrilled to work in CEC's Charleston office, giving back to my community. At CEC, I dive into every engineering aspect, learning from West Virginia's best. Being employee-owned means that I have a stake in my future. We're not just names on projects, we connect with clients, adding personality to every job. At CEC, we engineer progress in the great state of West Virginia.
Find out what CEC can do for you. Visit cecinc.com.
No word yet on what started a large fire on Pennsylvania Avenue in Fairmont last night that extended into the early morning hours today. That building used to be home to a funeral home and in more recent years has stored antiques. Firefighters had several issues battling the blaze. You can read more at WVMetroNews.com. Logan County school officials say that their elementary school students in Logan will begin attending Logan Middle School at the middle of next week after a fire at the school last Saturday. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Jeff Jenkins.
Anyone can choose to make a difference. You can help people succeed, rebuild after disasters, protect the environment, or feed the hungry. Not only will you make a difference for others, but for yourself. You can earn money for college, learn career skills, and make friendships that last a lifetime. Make a difference. Choose your future. Choose AmeriCorps.
This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com.
Welcome back to the show. 26 away from 3 o'clock Friday afternoon. Metro News Midday powered by Salango Law. Visit SalangoLaw.com. Stephanie Pauly and Ryan Nicholson are our producers today. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. It's open line West Virginia. Let me know what's on your mind. You want to talk about anything in the news? You want to talk about anything going on? And I always like to give... I don't set the rules for Open Line West Virginia. The only rule that I have is that you don't get me fired. I know I kind of stole that from Steam Release, but there's nothing new under the sun in the world of radio, so I'm going to go ahead and steal it. The other thing is that I say is it's Friday afternoon. Do you have anything like, I don't know, good you could talk about? I'll let you talk about whatever you want to talk about, but I'm just like, do you have anything that's not necessarily bashing somebody else or some other party or so? You do whatever you want, but I'm just saying, it's Friday. It's a beautiful day here, and at least it is in the capital city. Going to be a fantastic Saturday tomorrow. Yeah, not so good as we had weather-wise into Sunday and Monday, depending on where you are. Rain, snow mix, a little ice in certain areas, heavier snow in other areas. But after that, if you look at the extended forecast, we're talking about temperatures in the 70s, possibly approaching 80 in some locations. We will take it. So, there's always something positive. If you're a college basketball fan, this is the most wonderful time of the year. If you're a high school basketball fan, certainly the most wonderful time of the year. So you can weigh in on whatever you want, but I'm just saying, you could make my job, a little less stressful. Just it could be a little bit lighter today. Just saying. I want to throw this out there. You heard Jeff for the stations that carried Metro News at the bottom of the hour. You heard Jeff talking about this on the news. And this is the situation with Logan Elementary School, which is located in Logan County. We talked to Aaron Stone earlier this week of WVW Radio, and just to kind of catch you up, and we've got stories posted about it at the website. This past Saturday, there was a fire at Logan Elementary School in my hometown. And if you are familiar with the layout, the way the schools are there on Middleburg Island in Logan, it's where Logan High School is, Logan Middle School, and Logan Elementary School. Logan Elementary is the largest elementary school in the county. They had a fire on Saturday morning. It was extinguished pretty quickly. School not a total loss, but it's more than likely a loss for this year. And more importantly, they lost a lot of things that are hard to replace. And luckily, there were no injuries. Again, it was on a Saturday. There was nobody at the school. Logan Fire Department, others were able to get it put out pretty quickly. But they lost a lot of things. And I saw a post on social media from a teacher there who had been teaching there for 30 years. And, you know, things that simply can't be replaced. Mementos, things students had made for her and things of that nature. So we wanted to help out a little bit. So it's kind of what we do. We kind of take that WVRC Media, we're proud to live here too thing to the max sometimes. So here's what we came up with. One of our sister stations here in Charleston, Superstar Country 96.1 KWS, as you know, one of the things that we do throughout the year is we collect stuff to be given to those in need. We do a sock drop. We just did that not long ago, collecting socks, teaming up with the Union Mission for that. We do a snack drop. Other station, The Beat here in Charleston, does the backpack attack. We do trick or beat. We do all these things in the community, not because we're bragging on ourselves, because they need to be done. So Rob Reel, from our sister station here in Charleston, 96.1 KWS, came up with this idea to kind of help out, replace some of the things at Logan Elementary School. And he's calling it the Playback to Logan Elementary. And if you want to see exactly what they need, you can go to the Facebook page of Superstar Country 96.1 KWS. And it's things that it's hard to replace. They lost a lot of quote-unquote play equipment. And what I mean by that, not like, don't think playground equipment, but think of things like jump ropes and balls and things of that nature. They lost a lot of books and like chapter type books, if you know what I mean. Not necessarily we're talking textbooks, but we're talking those books that, if you remember when you were in school, those books that were lost a lot of stuff like that. And so we're just trying to help out. So Rob is going to be down there at Logan Bank and Trust, which, again, if you're familiar with Logan, this is the Fountain Place Mall location. 119, about 45 minutes or so, 45 minutes to an hour from downtown Charleston. On the corridor, Logan, you will see to the left, Fountain Place Mall. It's where Walmart is, and Bob Evans, and there's Dollar Tree, and McDonald's, and all these things there. And there's also a Logan Bank and Trust location. Rob is going to be setting up on the parking lot there starting at 8 a.m. on Tuesday morning, collecting items. And we're teaming up with Union Mission because in talking to the officials with the school system down there, they're not allowed to accept cash, okay, but for various reasons. You can't just roll up and say, well, here's $20, to go. They can't do that. Union Mission can do that, though. So they can accept the cash donations and check donations, and then we turn it over to Union Mission, who's going to be right there on site along with the officials at Logan High, and they say, hey, we need this, and we run right over to Walmart or Dollar Tree or whatever. There's a Beals there, which that's more clothing, I guess, but to go pick it up. So it's going to be, and I'll tell you more about it on Monday, but if you get a chance, there's information available on the Superstar Country 96.1 KWS social media. You can go to wefeedpeople.org, and that's the webpage of Union Mission. They've got information on there. Just trying to help out a little bit, trying to help out those folks. And a big shout out to the folks at Logan Bank and Trust for sponsoring. Of course, we are on the air in Logan, my hometown. Big shout out to WVW, and so sure that those folks will be there helping us out as well. So if you get an opportunity, help us out. We'll have more about that on Monday. All right, that having been said, Open Line West Virginia, 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. Text says, hope we ain't chasing the dater like we never caught the cracker. Points for creativity there. Talking about the proposed data center in Berkeley County, or the data center park, or whatever it is. And I remember a few years ago when the cracker facility was all the rage, and I haven't heard a whole lot about that. Appreciate the text. Text says, on the situation with the Department of Justice, do you wonder if the Attorney General's office will aggressively defend? We have info posted about this, WVMetroNews.com. Word came late yesterday, and let me reset the story for you. The Trump administration is asking states to turn over voter information. Information that is, I can't speak for all states, but I can tell you in the state of West Virginia is illegal to be turned over. They requested it. West Virginia Secretary of State Chris Warner, who is a Republican, said no, because it's a violation of state law. Other states also said no. So yesterday came word from the Department of Justice that they will be suing the state of West Virginia to get the information and suing other states as well. I reached out to the Secretary of State's office yesterday to ask if they could comment on it, and their stance at this point is because by code, anytime there is as best I understand it, there is a suit like this, the state is defended by the Attorney General's office. So any future comments, interviews, whatever, would have to come from West Virginia Attorney General J.B. McCuskey's office. Now, more than likely, as what they have done in other cases and other states have done, they'll probably say no comment, which that's what the other states' attorney generals are going to say too, whether they're Republican or Democrat. So the texter was asking, it's going to be interesting to see how this whole thing plays out because, again, West Virginia Secretary of State Chris Warner is a Republican. He was a Trump supporter, former state Republican Party chair. J.B. McCuskey, Republican, Trump supporter. But the law is the law. And the law in the state of West Virginia says that is protected information and is not to be disseminated to the federal government. And for those who will say, and I saw a lot of social media chatter, people saying, well, I have nothing to hide. Well, it's not about what you have to hide. It's the fact that it's violation of state law for the Secretary of State's office to turn. They cannot by law turn this stuff over. So in effect, the Trump administration is asking secretaries of state, not just West Virginia, but others, they're asking them to break the law. And I applaud Secretary of State Chris Warner and the staff are saying no, because it should never get to the level that the executive branch of government out of D.C. is asking states to break the law. And that's what they're doing. And so going forward, anything that happens will now have to be, the state of West Virginia will have to be defended by the Attorney General's office. So gonna be interesting. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. We'll take a break and come back after this.
The Mountain East Conference Men's and Women's Basketball Tournament presented by the Health Plan is back at Wheeling's Westbanco Arena, March 4th through the 8th. Past men's basketball national finalists West Liberty and Fairmont State, and 2022 women's basketball national champion Glenville State will be featured from the highest scoring NCAA Division II basketball conference in the country. Visit westbancoarena.com for advanced tickets and Tournament Central at mountaineast.org for tournament information, stories, results, event schedule, streaming, and television broadcast information. Join us for the Mountain East Conference Basketball Championships presented by the Health Plan, March 4th through the 8th at Westbanco Arena in Wheeling.
Picture a community where every space tells a story. Those are the communities we're designing at ZL Milne Architects and Engineers. With a blend of creativity and technical expertise, we design spaces that inspire, innovate, and ignite change. From cutting-edge educational facilities to community-centric gathering spaces, we're committed to improving lives through design. Let us help you shape a brighter future for generations to come. Because at ZL Milne, it's more than architecture. It's about building your legacy.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Rest.
New year, new trucks. Start your year off with a new truck from Dan Cava Toyota World. Now lease a 2025 Tacoma for as low as $299 a month. Save over $7,500 off on select Tundras or get 2.99% for 72 months. It's your last chance to get a gas model 2025 RAV4. Don't miss out. Come experience cars you can count on year after year. Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the road.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
I have had a complicated relationship with food. My job was to talk to heart failure patients about diet and exercise. I felt like, why would you listen to me? Because I was not following a diet that was healthy for me. I needed help. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 175 pounds. I feel like I'm free. They hold the skill, they hold the tools, and they're waiting for you to come say that you need the help.
Stike Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement, and we craft detailed financial plans for people like you because you're building your retirement your way. You deserve advice that's built to handle what your life brings. To meet with your Stike team advisor, call us at 304-443-4240 or email stike-info@wealthenhancement.com.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
It's high school basketball season, and Metro News Television has you covered. Rivalries, buzzer beaters, classic hardwood competition. Watch live and on demand from gyms across the Mountain State. Stream Metro News Television on your iPhone, Android, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select smart TVs. Or visit MetroNewsTV.com for more information. High school basketball lives here on Metro News Television.
Welcome back to the show. We'll get 12 minutes away from 3 on a Friday afternoon. If you're a parent or grandparent, if a child is a junior in high school in West Virginia, listen up. This is for you. It's your opportunity to win a full scholarship for your kid or grandkid from West Virginia Wesleyan College. It includes room, board, tuition, and fees. 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program presented by ZMM Architects and Engineers and the West Virginia Farm Bureau. The deadline is May 3rd. For details, go to WVMetroNews.com, WVMetroNews.com. Simply click on the Apply Now button and sit back and wait. The deadline is May 3rd. Again, a full ride, room, board, tuition, and fees at West Virginia Wesleyan. WVMetroNews.com. Deadline is May 3rd, and it's presented by ZMM Architects and Engineers and by the West Virginia Farm Bureau. Open line West Virginia, 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. Text says, Dave, I've said it before. This war on public education has to come to an end. Text says, 3 guys wing eating contest at a bar. What could possibly go wrong? It's for a great cause, the United Way of Mon and Preston counties. I'm sure Mr. Howell, Mr. Kirchville, Mr. Caridi will be just fine up there tonight. If you get a chance, stop by and check it out. It's for a great cause. We had Brad Howe on the show earlier, so you know those guys have a good time, and they do good stuff in the process. Text says, "Happy birthday, Dr. Johnny Fever, my favorite fictional radio personality. Second favorite is Dave Weekly." You hear that? You're a fictional radio personality, according to the texter there. WKRP in Cincinnati. The entire reason I got into radio. It really, really is. Well, that's partially true, okay? I grew up in a house where the radio was always on, the hometown radio station. And then as I got older and technology came along, I was able to figure out how to get radio stations from different places. But I'm not going to lie, WKRP in Cincinnati was a really, really big reason why I got into radio. And it wasn't even Johnny Fever. I like Johnny Fever, but it was like just the entire cast of characters from Herb Tarlake to Venus Flytrap to Andy to Big Guy. You know, this is the entire cast of characters. Everybody will point to WKRP, though, and they'll say, everybody knows the famous As God Is My Witness, I Thought Turkeys Could Fly episode. I don't think that was the best episode of WKRP in Cincinnati. I think I know, unpopular take. It's a funny episode, but it's not. Maybe it's because it's become so much part of the pop culture that you just see it over and over again. I thought the first couple of episodes, when the takeover and the switch happened from beautiful music into rock, I thought those were the better episodes. But that's just me. But yes, Dr. Johnny Fever, apparently, I don't know if they mean it was Johnny Fever's birthday or it was Howard Hessman's birthday. But anyway. And Weekly is a fictional radio personality, according to a text, right? 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. Text says West Virginia would be a great place if we could get rid of all the lobbyists and special interest groups at the Capitol. Well, as Grandma used to say, want in one hand, want and wish in one, and you know what in the other. See which one gets filled up. Text says, if you think the Democrats would make America great, then you have TDS. Democrats prefer illegal criminals over Americans, think you don't need voter ID, don't care about angel moms, eggs and gas are lower under Trump. Things will get better under Trump, all the new manufacturing jobs, says the texter. Text says, when I registered to vote, it only asked for the last 4 digits of my Social Security number, driver's license, and not the full of either. So how does the SOS have both even? Well, it all depends on how you fill it out. Because it does ask for both, but some people have a tendency to do, it asks for one. Some people have a tendency to do both. And sometimes people put email addresses on there. Do they let them know? So, text says, I don't want one dime of my tax money going toward anything other than traditional public schools. Text says, Republicans cry socialism and local control until it's something they care about. We need to stop propping up the dying coal industry and keep Charleston out of county business. Text, the Public Service Commission and the State Board of Education both need to be elected positions. Text says, say no to anything Hope Scholarship related. The best episode of WKRP was the softball game, says a text. Text says, Dave, tell the truth. WKRP's influence? Yeah. Lonnie Anderson. Yeah. No. There's 2 kinds of men in this world. You're either a Lonnie Anderson guy, you're either a Jennifer Marlowe, or you're a Bailey Quarters. Team Bailey. All the way. We'll wrap it up after this.
Worried about paying for college? Metro News is proud to present the 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program, where one high school junior in West Virginia will win a full scholarship to West Virginia Wesleyan College, including room, board, tuition, and fees. For details, go to wvmetronews.com and click the Apply Now button. Deadline is May 3rd. The 2026 West Virginia Scholar Program, presented by Greer Industries and the West Virginia Hospital Association. Go to wvmetronews.com and apply today by May 3rd.
Brighten your mornings with Tudor's $5 Sunrise Specials. Enjoy our Mary B, egg, crispy bacon, and cheese on our buttery biscuit, loaded with more bacon than the rest. Or try the Ron, featuring a bigger, hearty sausage patty topped with egg and cheese on a biscuit so delicious you'll savor every bite. Each combo comes with crispy hash browns and your choice of coffee or iced tea, all for just $5. Warm up winter mornings with this hot deal. Available for a limited time.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Start your new year off right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Spacious, smooth, and made for everyday life. It's truly a fan favorite. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra, now up to $12,000 off, or lease as low as $499 a month. So upgrade your ride this year with us at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop Thorough.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Stike Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement. We believe retirement starts with a plan. Saving for college starts with a plan. Your legacy starts with a plan. Do you have the right plan? Call our team at 304-443-4240 or email stike-info@wealthenhancement.com.
5, 3, 1. All the sports West Virginia is talking about.
Nikki Izzo-Brown, coach of the nationally ranked WVU women's soccer team.
I think they're just having a very good understanding of each other.
Join Kyle Wiggs, Brett Howe, and Coach Hunter weeknights for Sportsline on Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
I have had a complicated relationship with food. My job was to talk to heart failure patients about diet and exercise. I felt like, why would you listen to me? Because I was not following a diet that was healthy for me. I needed help. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 175 pounds. I feel like I'm free. They hold the skill, they hold the tools, and they're waiting for you to come say that you need the help.
Start your new year off right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra. Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop Thora.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
And Pivotal Ventures.
Welcome back to the show. Look who's here. It is the someone's second most favorite. Well, I already clicked off the text.
I'm not
what did
second.
they say? Now, they said that you were a fictional radio character. It was this person's second favorite fictional radio character was Dave Weekley.
Nice. Well,
I think they're saying
I appreciate that. I think.
Yeah. People were texting about because I guess it was somebody said it was Johnny Fever's birthday, and I don't know. Was it okay? Was it?
It is.
Was it Howard Hessman's birthday?
Yes.
And he passed, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a birth anniversary.
Okay, but I didn't know whether they meant the character Johnny, because sometimes on a show they'll mention their birthday. So it was actually the late Howard Hessman's birthday.
We got one of his clips in the in the file, the birthday file today.
Okay, well, people were mentioning some WKRP stuff and had two different texts. Didn't have a chance to read them when they said that the episode after the Who concert, which is one of the few semi-serious, was a pretty good episode. All right, that guy, fictional radio character Weekly, coming up with the crew on Hotline. Have yourself a great weekend. I will see you Monday. Till then, have fun and love somebody.